Yo. So I was having a thought experiment basically about the mind of God. And basically it was like, so it's like if I was God, which first of all, I think it's impossible for us as humans to even put into words the full divine, infinite, grandiose nature of God. Even saying God is like a limitation of God. But anyway, um, I was thinking like, yo, like if I was God and God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, so all knowing, all powerful, and all present, everywhere, and you know everything that has happened, is happening, and ever will happen. You're everywhere, all at once, and all powerful, and can do anything. I was thinking like, I feel like low key, God would be bored. Like it's like, dang, like I know everything. Like there's no like novelty um, to life, I guess. Nothing's like new. It's like I already know the answers to life and secrets, whatever. Da, da, da. I created it, da, da, da. Um, and I was thinking like, like what if God like was like, you know what? I'm going to create these beings, create life that forgets its divine nature, that forgets it's actually me. Because for me, I already know things, but I'm going to create another me or different versions of myself or all these different versions of life um, that basically has amnesia, you know. And I'm going to create this world and um and and see what happens from there. Um, and it's kind of like the question of like, if I created, it's kind of like God being like, what would I do if I didn't know I was me, or if I didn't, or if I forgot I were me? Because for me, I already know everything. I know me. I created myself, and da 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 da. And which again, like I said, is even beyond our even comprehension. God's true nature and multi-dimensionality and all that. So I'm just saying, all this is just for fun. It's just my thought experiments. This whole channel and the stuff that I do, it's like my mental playground. I love, like this is like play for me. Just like think about stuff like this. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's like, what would I do if I forgot I was God? What if I create me in this version of myself, in this shape, in this life form, in this place with these kind of rules, or those kind of rules, or whatever. And so yeah, so in a way, it is kind of like, or it is kind of like simulation theory in a way. Actually, I didn't even talk about the other part of this. Another kind of take on this is like, basically, what if literally God just thinking about that, or just God's thoughts just in general, just thinking, like right now I can come up with something. I can say there's a pink dragonfly in a world, in a hidden world of fairies that take shelter in trees, and there's a whole life in trees, and every tree that you enter into is a different dimension into a tree, or and like, you see how I literally just came up with it. Or I could create a story about a man and a woman who meet on a hot air balloon, and somehow because somehow they're the only two who actually made it that day. Maybe there was supposed to be like 10 people, but they were the only two that actually signed up, and then they actually fell in love, and then they start this business together. And they create. Well, it's like in the same way I just thought of that. Imagine if that was literally real. Like God being so powerful that God literally just thinking that makes it real on some Thanos shit. Like, and not even on no Thanos shit. Like, because with Thanos, it's like Thanos and Marvel. It's like in order to change reality, first of all, he has to collect the 6 Infinity Stones, and then he has to put them into the Infinity Gauntlet, the glove, and then he has to put the glove on, and then he can snap and then create reality whatever he wants. It's like Thanos is limited. You know what I mean? God is not limited. God can do anything. Da, da, da. Well, first, I don't even like saying he. Um, I feel like God is everything, both masculine and feminine. You know, it's like, so anyway, that's a tangent. But anyway, um, so for Thanos, Thanos is still limited because he has to first get the stones, he has to fight, and blah, 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 to get and then he can snap whatever. God, what if God don't even need to snap? Don't even need to collect the Infinity Stone because he already got them. He is them, literally, quite literally, and to the point where the mind of God, when God thinks, just the thought alone, like he's so powerful that just thinking about something creates it. You know what I mean? So when I just thought about that world of what I say, a pink dragonfly, the trees are different dimensions that can go into the trees and then go to different dimensional worlds, whatever. Like imagine that was actually real. Or when I just thought of like a couple meeting by chance in a hot air balloon and falling in love, da, 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 da. Imagine like that was actually real. Imagine if for me right now, like right here, right now, I'm in here in this park, sitting in the sun. It feels good as shit. I'm grounding, got my feet in the soil. I got my tripod and my camera. I got my speaker. You know what I mean? There's sticks around me. I'm sitting under this tree. Imagine if God was literally thought about me and created me in this very moment. Like, you know what? I'm gonna create this guy who's from Baltimore, who went through this in childhood and then grew up and then went through this, and had a spiritual awakening or whatever. You know, or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things you can think about it. Ways you can think about it. I mean, but just imagine that though. To me, that's very cool. That's very cool. And I think I was saying, where was it? I think I was saying, it was kind of reminding me, simulation theory. Because I was thinking of like AI a little bit, but even if, let's say like divine intelligence, I think I'm off track right now. I'm talking about AI. Oh, I was saying it reminded me of like simulation theory, like because that's the thing. I'm not like an expert enough about AI or whatever, but I know that you can like create like simulations, like that's what a game is. You know, Call of Duty or whatever, Fortnite. You know, you code the laws and the rules and the characters into them and the different weapons and the physics and you know, and then. But I'm just saying, like, imagine if God did that with us. What if God was like, you know what, I'm going to create this world where it has these laws and physics. There's a moon and a sun. You know, I'm going to create another one where the sun and the moon are actually reversed. So it's like kind of like an inverted world. But for this one, let's focus on this one. Imagine there's physics, laws, and that has to be a male and a female that come together and mate to create a new life. You know, and there's no other way you could create life other than that. And what would happen? What would happen if I created, you know? And then imagine if God did that and then like just press run, just like in the same way you could do that with like an AI simulation, whatever. Just press run and then let it run for like millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions of years, and see how it evolves. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I be thinking about stuff like that all the time. I like I said, this is like play for me. I love thinking about different possibilities, existence, different realities, the nature of God, the nature of the mind of God, which is kind of, this one is kind of talking about. Excuse me. I think I had like a gnat or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Cause it's like, what if God was just like, what if all of existence, all of reality was just like God posing the question to himself. Like, I kind of said this earlier, but posing the question to himself of like, what would I do if I forgot who I was and I was in this condition, or if I was in this animal, if I was in this person, if I was born in this environment, if I was from this world and went to a new world, if I was a volcano or magma or an entire earth. What would I do if I created a being that was a planet that self-cleans and breathes in and out and exhales and natural cycles, and then I created these lower beings that live on that planet that have to live through the breathing in and breathing out of that being called a planet. But for those little lower beings, what if that those are actually just seasons? What if that's actually just the everyday and month? You know, it's like, I think it's so cool think about stuff like that. And then imagine this. Imagine if that was true. Imagine if we literally are God's thoughts. We are God's thought experiments. What would happen if this? What would happen if that? Imagine if that was true. And you knew that. That poses a question to you. It's like, what would you do knowing that you are God, that you are an expression of God? You know what I mean? In a world full of other expressions of God. You know? What would you do? And I just want to say that anything I say or, create, whether it's stories, thought experiments, my theories on stuff, anything I create has at least some bit of truth in it for me, anything that I create, because it's like, I don't know, it's these thought experiments to just thinking and then just, and the thing is, it's because a lot of times it's from my own personal experience. So I've had personal experiences that's like hard to describe, or things like simulation theory that probably would sound crazy to people, whatever. But it's like, I've actually experienced things very similar to literally seeing the Matrix or being in the simulation, whatever. So yeah, I ain't telling nobody what to think, what to believe. All I'm doing is just providing different perspectives, thought experiments. I'm just showing y'all this. Like I said, this is fun for me. I just be playing, and with this channel and videos. I just felt called to put these ideas out there, get people thinking, yeah. If you resonate with this, or you disagree, or somewhere in between, or maybe you have your own theories or whatever, I want to hear them. Put them in the comments. And look at other people's comments and all that, their own theories and all that. But yeah, just let me know what y'all think. I'm very curious. I'm very curious. Oh, I had one more thing. One more thing was what was it? Symbols of God. Symbols of God. I was thinking about, what was it? The spectrum of, how do I say it though? Like I have it. Symbol of God. One of the ways I also think about reality is like through symbols, like symbols of God, whatever. I actually made a couple videos ago, 2 videos ago, I think, called "Stories Are Symbols and Dimensions." Which, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. But one of the symbols that I like, that for me represents kind of reality, God, existence, and us and our place in it, is like, I really like Pink Floyd's album cover with the prism. I think it's called Time. The album's called Time, I think. or maybe it's a song on there called Time. I forget, but I forget what the album's called. But basically, it's the symbol. It's like a glass prism, and it's like light shining through it, and then, the prism diffracts the light into like a rainbow, into the different colors. That's kind of how I also see God. Imagine God is that light. What if God is that light, that bright white light? Because I know white has all the colors. Or was it the opposite? I think I'm forgetting. I don't know. But imagine God is that like white light shining through that prism, and then from there it like diffracts, or it's like a filter into different spectrums of light. But imagine those spectrums of light are just us, different forms of life. God is that bright light, and then but as God passes through this medium, which is the prism, from there it diffracts into the different wavelengths, sound and light, and each color. That's the thing. It's like in the same way, like for us, like for example, like the spectrum, like the electromagnetic spectrum is massive, and we can only as humans see like one little sliver of it, and that's literally the was it Roji Biv, the colors of the rainbow, out of like a massive like different frequencies that we can't even see, light frequencies that we can't even see. We're just one sliver in that. We can only even perceive just one sliver of that. There's a whole range and sound and all that, So that was one more thing I was thinking about. Because God is the entire spectrum. So for us, we're just one frequency, one aspect of the entire spectrum, or even just one dimension out of infinite dimensions, infinite many frequencies, So maybe I'll do another video on that specifically. I don't know, but yeah, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. But yeah, that's all for now.